farm, family, community. This is Midwest Farm Weekly.
Good morning, I'm Elaine Wells and welcome to Midwest Farm Weekly. In your news headlines today, Pine River continues to dominate the spreadable cheese category, and they're hoping to bring home more hardware at the upcoming U.S. Championship Cheese Contest. It's held in Ashwaubenon. I was invited to tour their plant in Manitowoc County where they are making this award-winning product.
My dad started this in 1963 and I was 4, and he would say, hey, do you want to go over and help me? I have to check on something, and it'll be 15 minutes, and it ended up being 4 hours. But I learned how to love this place, and it was never, all my days of working here were never like work.
And his wife fell head over heels for the business too, taking on the role of marketing the product. This year, the company celebrates 6 decades.
All the years and all the changes and the upgrades that you don't realize are happening until you look back and go, God, we've really come a long way. And it's been exciting, every bit of it, you know.
We started using a small area and expanded into a cooler that my dad used to store campers and boats in when I was little. And then we finally took that space over, and then in 1990 we had to build on, and then we did it again in 2000. And then in 2010, and then 2011 was my big, that was my gold year where we made a brand new production facility, and I spent that year just working on that.
Today, Pine River makes 21 flavors of its standard cold pack cheese food.
They go from mild with the port wine, which is the most popular, to something super tantalizing, the ghost pepper. And then we've got everything in between.
They also offer a line of shelf-stable spread and one with a clean label, meaning no preservatives, artificial colors, or flavors.
It goes through a technique called HPP, which is high pressure pasteurization, and that was discovered by marine biologists who realized that nothing grows, there's no bacteria on the bottom of the ocean, and that's because of all that pressure of the water. So that's what HPP is. They apply water pressure and just kill anything that could possibly grow.
For the company to grow, it meant adding automation early on.
Because we're in the country, it's really hard. It was always hard to find people, as long as I know Pine River. And so automation was just blended because, okay, we can't find a person. We aren't going to displace anybody. We're just going to try to get more done with the same amount of people. In 1980, when we were doing it all by hand, we had 15 people, and we were running, maybe on a really long day, we might run 5,000 cups.
Today, the production line can finish 60 to 100,000 cups on a busy day.
Our blend is 90-some% dairy, but 52 plus of that is cheese, which is an unusual amount for our business. And we always have somewhere around 50 truckloads of cheese that we're aging, all different ages, so that we can blend and keep that cheese tasting the same year after year.
Because cheese spread, it always seems like it's a lesser food item than real cheese, or a chunk of cheese, a natural cut. But our spread really is natural cheese, natural chunks of cheddar, blended together with spices and other cheeses and other flavorings to make natural cheese spreadable. It can be interchanged on your sandwiches, like you would cut a piece of cheddar for your ham sandwich. You can spread on some Pine River cheese spread and have a great sandwich.
Mary and Phil know that their award-winning products start on the farm.
You know, if it wasn't for the farmers, and we have neighbors everywhere around us here making the best milk, we would not be where we are, as well as this team that we have here at Pine River that really care about this as much as I did, you know, and I still do. But I am kind of in the retirement mode, and our people they care, and it shows in our quality, and just everything coming off the line looks beautiful.
Including a special spread to celebrate their anniversary.
We are featuring a limited edition 60-month cheddar, which is made with 5-year-old cheddar, and the flavor is just amazing. The tanginess of that sharp cheddar, I don't know if it's going to stay a limited edition. We might have to have it all the time because it is delicious.
And if you're looking to sample the award winners,
We don't make a special batch or a special cup just to enter the contest. We just go down to our cooler and we take it right out of stock. So our award-winning cheese is the same cheese spread that you're going to have at your house.
the team is hoping to add to their already impressive collection of awards at the U.S. Championship Cheese Contest.
We never take it for granted. It's like every year is like, wow, we won again, and we're happy.
We love how our cheese spread tastes, and our employees and our family and friends. And we know from sales, our sales history, it's growing, so other people like it and they're buying it again. But when you have an expert judge who has a palate that is trained to know what is really good, and he tells you, or she, that you have the best product amongst your competitors, you're rendered speechless. It's amazing.
Well, Jeremy Hansen here from Fox Valley Technical College with another segment of Life on the Farm. And joining me today is Justin Lurkey. Justin, thank you so much for talking with me. And you work for the Fox Wolf Watershed Alliance, correct?
That's correct. Yep, I'm their Basin Agricultural Coordinator.
Right. And we're at a pretty significant event today. Can you tell me about what we're doing here today?
Yeah, no problem. We're at Brighton Acres in Oshkosh, Wisconsin for our second annual Farmer Roundtable event. So we host about 100, little over 100 farmers and agricultural professionals to learn about soil health and conservation practices.
Right, and this is, the program of events is fairly unique. And who are the main speakers here today?
Yeah, what we did this year, our stakeholder or steering committee actually asked us to really try to dive deep into some local expertise that exists here in the county and even surrounding counties of folks that have gone down the cover crop, no-till, soil health program and are starting to kind of figure out what's working, what's not working, and how to apply it in different applications.
Right, very, very good program in that people are actually doing what we're talking about here and have their experiences shared. So it's very significant. So tell me a little bit, what do you actually do with Fox Wolf Alliance?
Yep, so I work in the agricultural space, and so I work hand in hand with some of the agronomy staff at the land and water departments of different counties. So our basin is a pretty large basin. It's 16 counties. And so there's a lot of different staff with a lot of different nuances that they have to be able to work through. So we're doing some best practice sharing across that. And then we also just try to bring the farming community together. So what we find is that farmers learn best learning from each other, right? Because they've all kind of gone through that process, and they can kind of be able to understand what's working, what's not, and be able to diagnose what's causing where they're having concerns and be able to break down those barriers.
And then what are some of the main focus of some of the practices that you're working with farmers primarily right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of focus that's on cover crops and being able to bring additional diversity into some of those cover crop mixes, along with no-till, and maybe it's even reduced tillage, right? You're trying to kind of farm in nature's image, and so you're using some of those soil health principles and apply them. So you're trying to get more diversity, you're trying to reduce tillage, you're trying to reduce disturbances, and you're even in one of the big focus areas we had today was on animal integration. How do we incorporate more animals out on the landscape to benefit the soil health, but also improve it from crop production?
Right. And who are the audience members here joining us today?
Predominantly it's going to be farmers, and that could be cash grain operators, it could be dairy producers, and even in some cases we do have some vegetable farmers here as well.
Right, and it's very significant amount of people here. How many people are registered for this event today?
Yeah, we're actually over 100 farmers and conservation professionals today.
Right. Do you have other events coming up?
We actually do. We have another event in the lower Fox River. That's going to be at Van Abel's in Kaukauna on Thursday the 23rd. So that event, I believe, is still taking a few registrations. We're just about ready to close that up, but if somebody wanted to participate, they can check it out on our website.
Right. And just I want to point out that we are sitting at the bar here, but we didn't meet here at the bar. So we're here for the event. So I just wanted to point that out for everyone. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate the information you provided. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it as well. Thanks for coming out.
So for Life on the Farm, I'm Jeremy Hansen.
FFA is at work year-round, but there is one week dedicated to celebrating the organization and the people who make it possible. Evan Menon is here, who is the current state parliamentarian, but from the Green Bay area originally. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Well, good. We have to catch up on your run as a state officer. How are things going?
It's going so well. It's hard to believe that we're over halfway throughout this year, but everything I've been able to do and everyone I've been able to meet has been awesome, and it's been a great experience so far.
You reached out, though, to celebrate National FFA Week. What happens during this time period?
Yes, so we dedicate 1 week to celebrate all of our accomplishments nationwide, so not just in Wisconsin, but over our 850,000 members nationwide.
Whoa.
Will be partaking from February 18th through the 25th this year, and it's a week where we can dedicate to just celebrating all of our accomplishments in the FFA.
Is it sometimes mind-boggling to think that there are that many young people who are like-minded and working together to really grow this organization?
Absolutely. It's huge. Like, we are the largest student-led organization in the world, so it's just awesome to be a part of it and encourage others to join in with us.
I've heard more of my friends who don't come from ag backgrounds, who have youth around roughly your age, saying, you know, we're looking into FFA. We didn't understand that we didn't have to have a farm. We didn't need to come from a farm background. Talk about how FFA has really grown into a leadership development program.
Absolutely. So we actually changed from FFA to the National FFA organization back in 1988, so that instead of being Future Farmers of America, we're more of a leadership organization, because we offer any student or member that wants to be a part of it the opportunity for them to join. There's for things for people to be a part of in the FFA band and chorus that sings at our state convention and the state fair. We have an artwork contest, scrapbooking, and then our big leadership development events that our district contests are wrapping up here, and our sectionals will be starting up, and then our career development event contests.
How did you get involved in FFA? Where does your passion come from?
Yeah, so I actually didn't grow up in production agriculture, so when I took my first agriculture course at Bayport High School, my ag teacher really showed me all of the opportunities that the FFA offers its members, and that's why I joined.
Did you do any projects? Are you doing anything hands-on when it comes to that?
Yes, so we have a 3-component model of agricultural education. One part being our FFA, or our leadership aspect of it. We have the in-classroom and laboratory experience as another component, and then our third component is a supervised agricultural experience, which is a personalized project for students to do outside the classroom. So I did an ag education SAE, where I went down to our local elementary and intermediate schools and taught about chicken and plants to those students. And then in the classroom, I participated in hands-on lab experiences, dissecting udders, fetal pigs. Just a great experience overall.
If you weren't a member of FFA growing up, you still can participate as an alumni or supporter, and that's a pretty critical function for you.
Yes, absolutely. So we call it the alumni and supporters because any person who wants to be in the alumni and supporters can be. You don't have to be a past FFA member. If you want to support FFA in agriculture, become an alumni and supporter, and you'll support them in every way that is possible.
All right, one last plug for what you guys are doing this week. We should follow on your Facebook page because you guys are certainly active year-round, but this week especially.
Absolutely. So if you want to follow Wisconsin Association of FFA on Facebook, and then you can follow my personal social media account at Wisconsin Association of FFA Section 9 to see what I'll be doing this week.
What is the future holding for you after your FFA experience?
I'll return back to the University of Wisconsin River Falls, where I'll complete my degree in agricultural education.
Well, congratulations thus far. Have an enjoyable rest of your term, and congratulations on FFA Week.
Thank you.
Our featured farm family is a first-generation beef farm. The Poppy family is heading into a busy season as calving gets underway.
I've always known I wanted to be a farmer. I mean, this is all I've ever wanted to do. I've done other things after high school, but ag has always been where I want to go.
Well, actually, the beef idea was mine. Brian wanted to raise Holsteins, and he wanted to milk, and I said no. I did grow up the road from my grandparents' farm, which is, this is what this is my grandparents' farm. So I was around animals and cows back then, but didn't really get serious until we got married.
The farm is now home to 200 steers and feeders, along with 38 cows, most of them pregnant.
I really like the cow-calf pairs. I love seeing the babies every year and watching them grow up. That's kind of my thing.
You'll see quite a mix of colors.
So we started out with probably just the generic or general Black Angus, and then we got into some Simmental breeds, and we did a lot of cross breeding with Simmental and Black Angus. But we do have a lot of variety. We have some Charolais, we have some Red Angus, we have a Short Horn, and we have one British White Park.
All of the cows virtually have names. I mean, we have 3 daughters that absolutely love cows, and you know, we genuinely care for them. You know, we know their personalities, and there's, you know, however many in that building, and we pretty much have an idea of what everyone likes to do.
For some animals, that means a diet of grass alone, while others get a mixture of grain.
Some people get hung up on the grass-fed. You know, grass-fed gets a bad rap at times because they say maybe it's too lean or too this or too that. For us, we really thrive on giving them the best products that we can in the front side, so their product is better on the meat side. So we really emphasize on certain cattle do well on grass-fed, certain cattle do not. You know, so the ones that do not, we bring those onto the conventional side so we could push them with a little bit more with grain. The other ones, they can handle it on the grass. So
the Poppies raise most of their own feed.
we run about 250 acres of corn and hay, and then most all of it goes into the animals. A lot of energy that takes to keep these guys warm because they're not in a barn, but they're out of the wind, so it takes more energy.
Customers enjoy knowing the short supply chain.
I think they just love that it's homegrown. Most of our customers are like neighbors, local friends, and they just love that they know where it came from and it's good quality and they can come out here anytime they want.
For myself, I had an old guy tell me one time that it's not about the livelihood, you know, of the farm isn't always the best living. You know, when you go to the mailbox, the checks aren't always there. It's a tough living, but the life is the best. You can't ask for a better place to raise a family, work ethic wise, everything. It is, you know, wife and kids are great to have on a farm. So.
The Poppy family just opened an on-farm store, and you will find them in Omro.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Storm Team 5 meteorologist Alexis Staniak. We're still in the month of February, and for this time of year, our average high temperature is at about 29 degrees. Liquid precipitation-wise will sit at about 1.20 inches recorded for this month of February. And generally in February, we see about a foot of snowfall come through. So far for this season of winter, we have seen just under 3.5 inches of liquid precipitation, which is right around where we should be sitting for this time of the season. So far for snowfall, we have seen just over 2 feet of total accumulation, which is about a foot below where we should be sitting for this time of the season. So we are missing quite a bit of snow throughout this year of 2023. The average for this time of February is around 37.4 inches, and we are still below the average of 2022 for this time of February, which is at 32 inches. Not a lot on the ground either for this time of the month. We have maybe a trace as that system came through midweek, giving us just a little bit of snow, more snow still on the ground further to our north and west. As we head into the next 10 days or so, I think we will pick up about an inch of a liquid precipitation accumulation to come through, and we're looking at a bit more snowfall to come through as well. It's looking to be a couple of inches coming through throughout the next 10 days, and more again to our north and west. So for this weekend, we stay relatively mild. Our high on Saturday, 40 degrees, Sunday, 43 degrees. Then we do start to see a cool down as we wrap up this month of February. Monday, 35, Tuesday, 36. There's those temperatures back into the 20s when we can see our next snow chance, and into the next weekend we sit with low or high temperatures into the 30s. Into the next 2 weeks or so, we are looking to see that cool down continue. The Climate Prediction Center has put us in this slightly below average category for temperatures, so a lot of that mild air is starting to move away. And for precipitation, we are looking to sit above above normal for precipitation-wise as we continue into the next 2 weeks as well. So overall, we are looking to see below average temperatures, but above average precipitation, and that's going to help our drought out quite a bit. Right now, we are right around where we should be sitting, but places further to our west, still in a little bit of a drought, but overall, we are looking to see below average temperatures come through for early to mid-February, and precipitation, we are going to be sitting above average for this time of February.